Welcome back, everybody. In the past, I've done lots of fall recipes because I love that pumpkin spice. Fall harvest French toast and cinnamon pecan pancakes, all that good stuff. But today I've got a brand new pumpkin pancake recipe.
Let's give it a try.
And fall is rolling in up here in northwestern Montana. We're still up here on vacation, so of course, you know, I've got to use the Wheat Montana flour. Now, I tested this recipe this morning, and I love the way it worked out. So here we go. We're gonna go with 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I'll try to pack that in there like so. A tablespoon of baking powder. A tablespoon of ground cinnamon. Of course, you know, this is fall pancakes, so you could probably add, if you wanted to, a little nutmeg, and approximately a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we'll mix up those dry ingredients. Gonna go in with a cup of whole milk, actually 2 cups of whole milk. I'm not used to using so many ingredients when I cook, at least measured ingredients. So 2 cups of whole milk, followed by approximately 1 cup of the pureed pumpkin. You can also pick that up in your baking aisle. And to tell you what, when I see that pumpkin stuff, the leaves are just starting to turn. I'm getting in the mood for fall festivities. So about 1 cup of pureed pumpkin. And this is 4 egg yolks that I separated. I gotta be honest with you, this is probably only the 2nd or 3rd time I've ever separated an egg yolk in my life. And there were some trial and error. I'm not gonna show you that on camera. So 4 separated egg yolks, a 1/4 cup of melted butter. I just put that unsalted butter in the microwave for about 20 seconds. And that's our wet ingredients here. We're gonna kind of mix that up with the whisk. I can immediately see that pumpkin mixing up there and making a nice pumpkin color. Now we can add those wet ingredients into our dry ingredients here. I'll use this fork to kind of kickstart the mixing. A few of the videos and recipes that I watched all suggested that you separate your eggs. That's why I did that. I figured I'd give it a try. Now, they did say that you were supposed to use an electric blender. I don't have one on hand. So we're gonna go ahead, to the best of my ability, in a metal container, and we're gonna whisk up, there we go, those egg whites. This probably isn't gonna work, and I'm sure there's some bakers out there, people like Duff, all those baking heroes we have, that are probably looking at this and gasping right now. But hey, I'm doing what I can. So we're beating up those egg whites separately, per the instructions of top bakers. And we're gonna put those separated egg whites into the existing moisture, what do I call it, moisture? Wet ingredients, something like that. This is, for me, I have to have the texture. Growing up, we ate lots of walnuts, and I like pecans when it comes to some of these fall recipes. So we're gonna go in with some little pecan pieces to taste. So it's something like that. One last mixing of those ingredients. I have my Blackstone 28-inch adventure ready griddle on about medium low, folks. Pancakes, crepes, or French toast. It's really hard to get those temperatures perfect for the griddle top, right? There is a little bit of trial and error. Always be prepared to throw away your first run, meaning if you're making crepes or French toast, a lot of times it's too hot and they burn, or it's not hot enough and everything just kind of runs around the griddle. So just keep that in mind. Have enough batter that if you do throw down one pancake and it messes up, then hey, you can just crank it up and get it perfect the second go around. But I've done this so many times, I know where I need to be. It's a calm day here, and we're in about that medium-low position. I don't need a ton of oil when you're doing pancakes, so I really like using the non-stick griddle spray from Blackstone. You could use coconut spray, Pam, whatever you want to use, or of course just oil as well. You should be able to put your hand over the griddle top though and fill. Hey, that's pretty darn hot. That'll cook liquid batter, but it won't sear a steak. Here we go. And come up here with our cup. I got a cup, measuring cup. Now my Achilles heel when I'm doing pancakes always is making them too large, folks. I'm gonna try to go smaller today. We're gonna make these manageable, and I think that might be okay. Keep in mind, just like when you're making a cake, these things will expand, and it's okay if they're not perfect. You want to just get them in the ballpark of each other. That way you can stack these things with the largest one on the bottom all the way up to the smallest one. But I think that's a good place to start. I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for bubbles, and you can see the bubbles start to happen in the batter, and you're looking for your edges to get set up. See, it's going to be really gelatinous, really liquidy in the middle there, but you want to look at those edges there, and you want to see them, literally the edges will start to look like pieces of a cake if you cut apart or dissected a birthday cake. So that's what you're looking for here. I guess if you want to err on the side of caution, a little bit of non-stick spray on the spatula wouldn't hurt. Now this one's pretty close. And one other thing I've learned over the years, one other tidbit of information I'll give you is be quick with pancakes, because if it is a little too wet, it's not quite ready to be flipped, quickness will be your ally. So here, we'll give that theory a test here. I'm gonna go super quick and flip. Bam. Perfect. That's exactly the way I wanted it to look. Here we go, let's do it again. Quick and flip. That one's perfect so far. Quick and flip. For me, I always like to use a little bit of country crock. We don't want to burn these pancakes on the bottom side. I'll come down here and either go all the way low, or sometimes I might even turn a burner off altogether and just leave one on low. That way the griddle top's still going to maintain some heat, but we're not going to necessarily, you know, burn the bottom of these pancakes, because we don't want that. Nobody wants to burn pancake. Now I can also stack things up if I want to. See, these are perfect. These are like perfect pancakes. So I'm going to stack this slightly smaller one up on top of this slightly larger one, just like that. So I think we're going to go ahead and use this one as our bottom pancake. So then I'll probably set these on top of here. And what we're doing, folks, is we're just letting that sit on the griddle top. We want to make sure the insides aren't yucky and wet and runny. And so these will be our presentation pancakes, and these over here will just, that's a good looking pancake too. These will just be our extra pancakes off to the side. Now remember, I have one burner off and one on low, so these are in no danger of burning. They're just hanging out there. Now I'm going to pull my presentation stack off the griddle. Did I just coin a new phrase, by the way? The presentation stack. I pulled this little cutting board out of my Blackstone travel box, and I'm loving the fall plate, by the way, but I'm just thinking the contrast might even look better for our final plate up on top of there. How do you want to top this? So you can top it however you want to. I do have some pecans here, maybe a little bit of whipped cream. This stuff doesn't last long in our house. I'll buy it for videos and it magically disappears within seconds of me purchasing. And I've learned less is more with this stuff too. So just gonna go in with a little bit, and apparently that's all I'm gonna get. What on earth? Our whipped cream isn't working. Look at there. Straight out of the package, it's not working. So apparently we're gonna go in here and make this a whipped creamless version of my pumpkin pancakes, and that's all good. You don't have to have whipped cream on yours, apparently. So in this case, I definitely would put some pecans on there, just because I want that gorgeous color and contrast. If you're not into pecans, folks, you don't need to have pecans on here, so a little bit of pecan straight in with my maple syrup. This is the stuff that my subscriber Todd Pipe sent me from Ontario, some delicious Canadian maple syrup. So we'll just put a little bit of that on there. You got to go with the pure syrup, folks. Look at that. Take a look at that. I do have this cinnamon left over here, so you know, a little bit of cinnamon adds just another layer of color. Let's give it a try. Natalie is also our whipped cream expert. She found out there's probably a pressure problem because if you let it sit for a minute, a little bit of whipped cream comes out, see? Then it kind of slows down and then there's none left. She gets it from me. Oh my, get some of that extra syrup, by the way. Let's see if I can get that to drizzle. There we go, to drip on camera. She gets it from me. 2-bite Todd, 2-bite Natalie. Friends, go back in the archives here. I've made a lot of pumpkin treats. This is probably the best one I ever made. Sometimes, you know, the consistency isn't perfect. For some reason, the consistency came out perfect on this. Was it the separating of the eggs? Look at that strata there. And you can decorate these any which way that you want to. But I appreciate you watching. Make sure you're watching Desiree, that's Blackstone Betty with Family Style. Make sure you're watching CJ, CJ's first cooking show. And of course, our good friend Nate Lippy, Chef Nathan Lippy with Cook, Eat, and Repeat. Until next time. By the way, these are called pumpkin pancakes. Todd and Natalie were saying, she's like, I know, Dad. Praise the Lord and pass the
pumpkin pancakes.
Pumpkin pancakes. I'm probably the one that needs the coaching. Oh.